Well, hello everybody. We're gonna go ahead and start on our Halloween stuff today. And I've got a cute t-shirt in mind, and of course you know who I'm doing the t-shirt for. It's gonna be for Shaylin, and it's called Seasons Creepings. Now I did a jack-o'-lantern board the other day, and I used the little bats off of it, so I have cut the transfer apart, but I believe it's a B size, and yes, it's available in my shop. Now today we're going to do it a little bit different. We're not going to go exactly by the traditional colors, but we have a lime green t-shirt, and look here at all my eyeballs rolling around on my counter here. I'm gonna have to put them up in my jar here in a minute. But this is a lime green t-shirt, and we're gonna ink today, and I'm going to place the Seasons Creepings here, and then we're gonna let bats fly around. I'm not quite sure. We're gonna use the coral for the face of the old skeleton, and then we're going to use black and the silver, gosh, I can't even talk, shimmering silver. And I promise you I haven't been in the spirits today at all. So we're going to use velvet black, shimmering silver, and this pretty pink coral. All right, guys. Of course, you know me, I always put everything that I use during my project in the comments, or at least in the verbiage above the video. Let me stuff my eyeballs. Look at those things. Those are so cute. I found them the other day. And I know Shaylin's going to be coming here in the next couple of days, or more than a couple of days, but she always likes to go trick-or-treating or get special goodies, so I bought her a jar full of eyeballs. All right, I've got my ink mat, I've got my shirt, and I've got my transfers. Now these transfers are silkscreen, and it's quite a bit of silkscreen, so we're going to have to be real particular when we pull, because we don't want a whole lot of bubbles getting in there. And then of course the old bats is nothing but silkscreen. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything positioned. You know, and even as an adult, I love Halloween. I do. As a kid, I used to get the biggest kick out of going door to door and getting candy. Like I never had any candy. But, and you know guys, if anybody knows me, that was quite a joke that I didn't have anything. But I was very fortunate growing up. But I don't know, getting dressed up, and one of my favorite outfits was always a hobo. And I remember in the 3rd grade, we had to write this piece as to what we wanted to become when we grew up. And guys, I wrote a thing about becoming a hobo. And I think my teacher, which was Miss Newsom, was a little bit worried about me, to say the least, because she called my mom and my dad, and they had to go to the schoolhouse, and that just was not a good move on my part. But I think she thought I was trying to be sarcastic, but I truly thought being a hobo was the coolest thing. And especially when you could ride on the trains, you would hop off in one town and hop back on when you got ready to go somewhere. I guess I just didn't realize what kind of life that type of person led. But yeah, Miss Newsom, she had to, I think she panicked when she read my essay. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get busy. Now, let's see if I can get this off. And I'm gonna have to clip it right there, so it makes it easier to pull back and get your fabric situated, or get your transfer situated. Now, since we're inking, we're not going to have to fuzz because we're putting it on a what? We're putting it on cloth. So it's going to make its own lint to go on the back of the transfer. And I think I'm going to use my squeegee here to kind of help me just pull through this, and hopefully I can pull out any little bubbled area. I don't think I'm going to put any, I don't know. Knowing me, if I don't get my masking tape out and put it around the edges, I'll just get foolish and pull it all over the place. Okay, so just hang on a minute. Now, guys, if it's some of you that are new, and I have to say thank you very much for all the sharing you've been doing. My followers are growing. We have topped out at over 500, and they just keep creeping up, and I'm loving every minute of it. I appreciate it so much. So what I would like for you to do is, when you see this, just hit that share button for me, please, because that just allows me to get to somebody else a little bit further out. I've actually gotten, I was talking to one lady the other day that was in Ohio. I've talked to several that are in Alabama. And, you know, our world is truly not that large, but when it actually is really large. Okay. I don't know if I may have to just discard this one, but let me see, because it's just about out. You see how this has been a popular color. It was during the summer. Now, remember, your paste as well as your inks, you want them to be where that they stir easy and that they have a consistency. Now, your ink is going to be more like a thick yogurt, kind of like a Greek yogurt. And you want your paste to be a little bit more soupy, but not just runny. Okay. Now, this neon green and this coral color is going to be a little bit on the shocking side. I think Shaylin's going to like this. And you can, once you heat set your projects, and you can heat set with an iron on medium, and what you have to do is you have to press them for 4 minutes. And you move your iron around and around and around. Now I've got my heat press over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this dried on camera. Hopefully I won't make a big boo-boo where I can't get it dried. And we're gonna heat set it. And that, when you use your heat press, you put it at 305 for about 35 seconds. And sometimes, just depending upon how much of a space, I might do the heat set twice with the press. But you have to do back and front, and then it can go in the washing machine. And I'll have to wear some of my shirts for y'all that have been washed over and over again. And I mean, with normal wear and tear, it does not, the colors don't bleed. They don't disappear. They don't just go away. Okay, I am really scraping, trying to get all that coral ink out so that I can do away with that one jar today. And not have to open another one. I mean, I am really scraping the bottom now. Let's see. Got one more little spot. But here again, remember, this stuff is not forgiving. So, where you put it, unless you're doing it on something like a glass or something that you have to bake it any length of time, I can't get it off of my green t-shirt, so I don't want a big old blob of it. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and look at my fingertips and make sure that I got a little bit right. I done got it into a bad habit of just laying it down over here and not throwing it in the trash can, and then I pick it back up and I get ink or paste on me again. Okay, now we're going to pull our masking tape away. And we're going to just keep pulling, and it may pull some of the transfer with it. But we're going to hold it in place because I do not want this thing to flop back. Like it did on one of my other projects. I think I was doing a beach bag, I believe, and it just got away from me and flopped back over. But we did figure out how that we could correct that. But sometimes you can fix it and sometimes you can't. And this would be one of the times I don't think you could get it unless you covered it up. Well, you might could. You could cover it up. Let me turn this off. It's trying to tell me it's ready. But you could cover it up with a bat, I guess, if you dropped a little bit on there, if it wasn't in a bad spot. Okay, now we're going to reveal. Here we go. Ooh wee, yes. Now this goes face down in my pan of water over here. And I'm going to hold that little shirt up, right? Because we're not going to dry it until we put our, I guess maybe you could see it, or Mark, you going to let me maybe take a up close and personal? Ooh, that looks freaky, doesn't it? Okay, now we've got to decide where we're going to put our bats. And all the bats, and I'm not going to save this ink right here, this coral ink. I'm going to go ahead and throw it away because I'll still be, next time I do a project with coral, scraping on that bottom of that little pot. Okay, that is cool. I like that. All right, so we've used our coral. Now I'm going to turn it back where it can look at me. And we're going to decide where we're going to put our bats. And we want to make sure that wherever we're going to put a bat, that the cloth is down on the inking board. And I think I'm going to put one right here on her little shoulder and one over here, and maybe a couple, one down here. So, and we're going to have to wash them in between times. So bear with me here now. Okay, I'm just going to kind of angle that one. And I'm going to go ahead and put this other one over to the side. Let's see, I think I'm going to have him flying in. One's flying away and the other one's flying in. Now I'm going to twist a little bit so I can work with it. And on our bats, we're going to make them. We're going to start out with the basic, just black velvet ink, and then we're going to add on top of the bat. After we get it inked, we're going to add a little bit of the silver shimmer. Oh, let's see what we come up with, guys. Let me get rid of this coral. Alrighty. And see, when you look at your inks, they are usually, see how easily it stirs, and that just looks to me like it's just luscious right there. Just ooh. But let's see what our black looks like. Oh, and we're gonna open this one. This is a new one. Oh, goodness gracious. Black is definitely a non-forgiving ink. So I'm trying my best. And I know by cracky I got it on my fingertips, so I'm gonna just, let's see, I'm gonna move this one over to the side right there. And then we'll stir it up here in a minute. And while we will, yeah, okay, I don't have to open that. But I'm not gonna go ahead and put, I'm gonna try my best not to get over on the cloth. So we're just gonna wing it right there with the, without the tape. So everybody hold your mouth just right so that I don't get just pure crazy with this. And I'm only gonna put just a little bit on both of those. Alrighty, now here we go. We're gonna just ease it down. And we're gonna pick it up and put it back in our little pot. So far, so good, guys. Okay, are you holding your mouth just right? I know I am. I'm trying not to stick my tongue out. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna wipe that off, and then we're gonna add the shimmer. Move my pan up just a little bit so I can work a little bit closer to the edge of the table. And as many baby wipes as I use, I should have stock in them. but I haven't ventured out with that. Okay, we're just gonna put just a tiny bit. And then we're gonna just kind of pull it, just work it around a little bit. Now, we're going to pull this one up. Ooh, how cool. Face down. I don't know if you guys can see that one, but now, let's see what we can do over here. We're not going to pull all the way across the bat. You could if you wanted to, but my bats have a little bit different personality. They like just a little bit of shimmer, they want the black to show out too. Okay, now we're going to pull that one. Oh, how cool is that? Wow. Now I'm going to take a moment and just step over here at my sink, and I'm going to wash these two bats. And if I had a second hand that I could leave over here, I would be using the hot gun, the blow hot air, so that we could go ahead and dry this so we can heat press it. And I know that every time that I tell you about that I like for my stuff to cure overnight, but we're going to see if it won't work this way too. So while those are kind of drying a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and use the hot gun, and we're going to start working on making sure this is dry, because we can dry the other side too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it back around facing me, and I'm just going to work my hand up underneath there. And we're just going to dry for a little while. Now, of course, I know you guys don't want to just watch me dry ink. But for me to actually handle it, I'm going to have it dried a little bit for me to even get it off the sticky mat without getting it messed up. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and it's beginning to get that way. It's still tacky. And it's so humid around here that I may have to rethink it, but we'll see. It is definitely humid. I tell you what, I don't think I'm going to add anything else. I think I'm going to go ahead and just pull out that she's got her. Ooh, that was hot. And I'm just going to go ahead and just dry it, and then we're going to heat set it. What do y'all think? You think little girl will like it? I do. All right, let me clean up, and then we'll check it and see how it's coming along, so that if I flop it around, I don't get it in the inks. Move this out of the way. I think it's just about ready, because once you get it warm enough and it kind of sets it, then we'll turn on the heat press, and I'll show you how to heat press it. I think I've got that pretty good. Now, next step is we turn our heat press on. And a while ago it was just singing to us, and so it's going to have to warm up to 305 degrees, and it's going to be, we're going to set it at 35 seconds. So we will put that. This is kind of like a little ironing board I've got. So what we do is we take, let me move all this other stuff out of our way so that you guys can see. Okay, can you see me? And to be honest with you, when the video's over, I may go ahead and put another couple of bats on here. But to demonstrate how we are going to do this, oh, it beeped, it's ready. We're going to take parchment paper, and you can get it most anywhere from Dollar General to Walmart to Ingles, Publix. And it, you know, for a long time I thought that parchment paper had to be brown, but it actually doesn't. It's white. Okay, now we're going to sit it, and then we start the countdown. Oh, one of my eyeballs is not got loose from my jar. But I couldn't resist that. I just couldn't, because I thought that'll be so cute to fix up some kind of trick-or-treat bag. Because I know I won't get to see Shaylin actually trick-or-treat, but I'll at least get to see her do some of the things. Now, since I've got one on each shoulder, a bat on each shoulder, I'm going to go ahead and let it do its own and go back through its system here at 305 and 35 seconds, because I want to make sure that everything is well heat set. And like I said, you can wash them. Like, I could actually run down to the laundry room down here and throw it in, and then she can wear it. She can wear it like this. And no, I don't wash them before I do this. All right, guys, I've had a blast this afternoon introducing you to some of the things that we're gonna do for our Halloween series. We've got some fun projects. We've got pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns. We even inked a skulls on a pillow. So we've got some things planned for you guys. Shop in my shop. And I'll put all the links to what I've done today. Let's do it on the back right quick. And let's get chalking. I'm telling you guys, it is one of the most fun things that I've ever done. And I can't draw. I like to see what I can create with this, but I truly cannot draw, and if I had to paint this, it would look like the Dickens. So if you're saying, oh, I'm not crafty, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You could try this. We've got Try Me kits. That's in my shop. I am going to be doing some little chips to make our like little disc for the Halloween project that I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna show you. It's gonna be fun, but I'm gonna talk to you about the chickens that are behind me in one of my next videos. I have inked on tile. I now have mounted in the frame. I have chickens over here. Guys, we can have a blast. Let's do a workshop. Shop in my shop. Let's just get together. Come on. Alrighty, let's see what we got. And the last and final thing that I will say, if you want a granddaughter's or grandson's Seasons Creepings, I'll be glad to make you one. Let me know. I'll see you later. Bye.